Okay, so starting with the first question that we've got here, we've got this t cubed times t to the 5 times t to the minus 2. And we're just simply going to try to simplify it. So we can see that we have the same base all the way throughout here with every single term. So that's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. And we are multiplying each of these terms together. So all that we need to do is go through the different laws of indices that we've got, and we can see it's actually going to be related to number 1, where we're multiplying those terms together. And as we know, when you multiply, you add your different powers together. So all that I need to do is take my 3, I need to add the 5 onto that, I need to add a 1, because remember, if there's nothing written there, there's really a 1 there. It's like if you write the number 5, it's really 5 to the power of 1. You just don't normally put the power of 1 there, but it is actually there. And then we've also got this minus 2 that we're going to add on as well. And then we just simplify. So the 3 plus the 5 will give me 8, plus the 1 to give me 9, and then plus minus 2, that's the same as minusing 2, that's just going to give me a 7. So we get t to the 7. Relatively straightforward. The second one looks more complicated than it is. We've got a tricky number. We've got negative 1,000,001. But all that we look for here is what's happening with the powers. And we can see we've got a power of 0. And when we go through the 6 different laws of indices that we've got, we can see that number 3 is the power of 0 rule. And we know that anything to the power of 0 is simply just 1. So that's nice and easy. Okay, the next one, there's a few different things going on here, but again, similar to the first one, we can see that the base is the same every time, which is perfect. That's what we're looking for, to be able to use most of these laws of indices. And then what we can see as well is that we're doing some sort of division. So remember the fraction line, that big fraction line that we've got there means that we are dividing. So what we're going to do is break it down to parts. We're going to simplify the numerator, and then we're going to divide by that denominator. So first of all, p to the 10 times p to the 7, we're going to add those two powers together. That's going to give me p to the power of 17, and then it's still over this p. But remember, there is really a power of 1 there. If there's nothing written there, it is really a 1. And then like we said, fraction lines mean divide. So this is where we're going to bring in another law of indices, number 2, the division law of indices, where we need to subtract the two powers. So 17 take away 1, just going to give me 16 there. And the next one, we can see we do not have any letters involved. We've got numbers, but we're going to try and simplify this as much as we can, get some sort of answer. So we can see that we've got 3 to the power of minus 2. So again, we go down the different laws of indices. The negative law of indices, remember, we always do 1 over. So whenever you see that minus sign, you just draw 1 over straight away, and then you actually ignore the minus sign that you've got there. It's actually the same question as the example that I wrote earlier, 3 to the power of minus 2, and we just simplify from here, so it's going to give us 1 over 9. Okay, and the final question that we've got here is this fractional power. So 125 is the base, and we're putting it to the power of 2/3. Hopefully you can remember what we did before this. This is law number 6, the last one that we looked at. Whatever your denominator is, that is the root that you need to take. So I need to take the cube root of my base, of my 125, and then afterwards I'm going to raise it to the power of whatever is on top of the fraction. And that's a 2, very similar to the one that we looked at before. And then we just simplify. So cube root of 125, we just need to think what times itself 3 times equals that. That's going to give us 5. And then because we've got the 2 on the outside of the bracket, we then need to square that answer. And 5 squared, 5 times 5, just going to give us 25.